right, so Jacob Castro with ParryPunch, joined today by Andre Petroski. He's coming off a big win over Wellington Turman at UFC 281. Hell of a fight for him, as we were just saying. So I kind of wanted to talk to him, get his thoughts on everything. How have you been, Andre?
Been good. I'm still. I flew down to Florida to visit my uncle. I was in Mississippi for CFFC. I commentated and cornered one of my teammates, and then from Mississippi, I came right to Florida.
Oh, nice. How did your teammate do? Did he win?
She lost now,
Oh,
but it was a
she.
good fight. Yeah,
Okay. And then was it a good experience commentating? Have you done that before? I think you did for Aaron
yeah,
Jeffries' fight, right?
yeah. I think that's the third. Yeah, I think that's the third time I commentated for CFFC.
Okay. Do they just reach out
Yeah.
to you, or your manager kind of set that up for you?
Yeah. I'm 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 friends with Rob Haydack, so yeah, we talk back and forth, and whenever usually it's only when CM Punk's not in, when he can't make it, I usually fill in for him. But this time he was there anyway, so they just used us both.
Okay, gotcha. And so you were in Florida for a little bit. You're not there anymore, though, you say?
No, I am. I fly back to Philly tomorrow.
Okay. Are you getting some training in at Florida at one of the big gyms like American Top Team or Kill Cliff or anything?
Honestly, I haven't. I've just been kind of chilling just because I had just fought last weekend.
Yeah.
But yeah, I haven't. But I usually go to Florida Kickboxing Academy.
Okay.
That's like Ace of Ten Pal. He fights for Glory. But yeah, I usually go there.
Okay. So those are the guys you go and train with.
Yeah.
How do you like the weather over in Florida right now? Because you're from Philly, so it's got to be way
It's
different.
like it's warmer, but it's been raining the last 2 days, so it looks like I brought the shitty weather with me.
Yeah. Is there no hurricane stuff going on though? It looks like things are going back to normal for the most part in Florida.
Yeah, nah, it's just rain right now.
Okay. Gotcha. So let's talk about your win over Wellington Turman. Hell of a fight. You won a unanimous decision. What were your thoughts going into it? Because he's a black belt. You're under Daniel Gracie. Do you do gi jujitsu or are you mostly no gi?
I have done a lot of gi, but recently because of the schedule, I haven't been doing a lot of gi recently.
Okay. And I think you are a brown belt in the gi, right?
Correct.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, Wellington was a black belt Brazilian. He's a tough guy, honestly. So what were your thoughts going into the fight?
Going into the fight, I was a little yeah, I mean, I think I knew that I was better than him in the striking and especially the grappling, but I hadn't done like as much grappling in this camp as I normally would have done. And so I didn't really know. I knew my lungs were good. I knew my conditioning was good. I had put a lot of time into conditioning, especially swimming and biking, but I hadn't spent a lot of time grappling, but I had done a lot of striking. I had felt really good. My hands felt really good leading into this fight. So I was really excited.
Okay. And do you think it had to do with just the lack of grappling? It may have affected your performance slightly in the fight. Is that what you're kind of thinking it was?
Um, well, first off, I am happy with my performance, especially when I go back and watch it. I think that
Yeah.
I dominated in every aspect of the fight, the striking and the grappling. I think that I just kind of waited a little late to start grappling just because I started touching him a little bit on the feet in the first round, and then I got like excited. I just thought I could knock him out, so I that's what I was kind of going for in the first, and I kind of didn't switch gears until later in the fight.
Okay. And I mean, like you said, it's good to hear that you're happy with your performance now because it's probably something you have to go through, right? It can't always be finishes like you like to get. Probably got to go through some of those hard little rounds where I think you were tired in the second round, at least it seemed like it a little bit, but then you bounce back in the third. So maybe there's like an evolution that comes out of that, you think?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that obviously I want the finishes, but I think um, I showed a lot more in as opposed to the Maxima fight where it was impressive to be able to go out and be such an underdog and submit him so quickly. but it didn't really show like everything that I've been working on.
Hmm.
Whereas in this fight, I was able to show a lot more of like my abilities and what I can do in the future.
Yeah, like who you are as a fighter too, in a sense, right? When things get
Absolutely,
gritty, you're there the whole way through.
absolutely.
So that Maximo fight as well. I mean, like you said, a quick finish. Were you kind of, and then you got a little injury in the next training camp, so you're kind of riding a high, and then maybe you had a little bumps in the road in between your next fight. Is that kind of how it went?
Yeah, for sure. Just like minor stuff, you know what I mean? Just like little injuries that kind of just prevent you from prevented me from doing the grappling that I wanted to do. But nothing serious, nothing permanent,
Okay, and I guess you're taking some time right now to recover as well.
for sure.
Yeah. Okay, and then after the win, you had a couple names on your mind, Gerald Meerschaerdt, Bo Nickal. So let's get into that a little bit. I think you want that Bo Nickal fight more, but you're kind of doubtful he's going to take it, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I don't see him agreeing to fight me at this point, especially being 4-0 in the UFC. I think he's going to try to fight anyone that can't grapple for a long time. He's going to pick out the fighters that have no grappling background whatsoever, for at least the next couple fights.
Hmm. Is that what's kind of irritating you? Is because he's talking a big game about just in general, like taking out the champions already, and you kind of are in your mind are like, dude, you're not even going to take a fight against me. It seems like.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then you also said he said some disrespectful things. So I was curious what exactly it was from your perspective.
Just saying that there's no one in the division that has 10% of his wrestling.
Oh, okay, so that was kind of the specific one right there. Where did he
Yep.
say that, by the way? I'm just curious where you saw that.
Um, I think it was right after maybe his Contender Series fight.
Oh, okay, that's when he
I,
said that.
I, I don't know the exact interview, but
You
I
saw a clip
remember that
somewhere.
one. It stung a little bit.
Right, right. Okay, so let's go into Gerald Meerschaerdt then a little bit. Is that the fight you're kind of putting your energy towards at this point, or are you leaving your options open still?
Yeah. So he fights. I think in 2 weeks.
Hmm.
I can look that up, but
I could
he
look it
has
up
a
real
fight
quick.
coming up. So hopefully, you know, if everything goes well, he wins
Hmm.
first and foremost, and then we can get it cracking. He has expressed interest in the past. That's one that would definitely mean a lot to me. Um, he's got the most submissions in middleweight history.
Hmm.
Um, I think he's got like something like 20 some submissions.
Yeah.
He's got a crazy number of submissions. So, for me to submit the guy with the most submissions in the middleweight history, that means I'm the best submission guy in the division.
Right. And it looks like he's got nine submissions in the UFC. He's got one KO TKO win, so he's got 10 finishes, which is another thing you're probably going for. You'd like to finish a guy like that, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So he's got his fight on the February. It looks like it's actually further out now. February 18th, he's fighting Abu Smagomedov. And
Did they just push that back?
I guess, I mean, it doesn't even show that it was canceled on Tapology. It just shows February 18th, 2023 is fighting Abus or Abus.
I wouldn't mind fighting that Malkoon on the Perth card. That would be perfect.
Dude, that would be a hell of a fight. Jacob
Yeah.
Malkoon.
Yeah. And it's February, it's either 14th or 24th, which would be perfect timeline for me.
Are you talking about in Australia or
Yeah.
the UFC
Yeah.
Perth, right? Yeah, the 24th. All
Yeah,
right,
I mean,
hell yeah.
yeah, I've been asking. I don't know if he's booked or not, but I haven't heard anything back.
Yeah, he just got that or he fought Brandon Allen, I think one guy after that. So he's coming off a win now. You're coming off a win. So I mean you got
He
a win
his
streak.
last fight he beat Maximov.
Right, right. He beat Maximov. You beat Maximov. That makes a lot of sense, man. And I
Yeah.
think you fought. Have you fought Brendan Allen in the past or no?
No.
Okay.
He has came up to my gym
Okay.
to train a few times. I think twice.
Gotcha. So who
Yeah.
knows? Maybe you can connect with him a little bit since you already fought him. But if not, I'm sure you got enough guys at your gym too.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so I guess you're looking for a big fight out of the country because you're also talking about UFC London in March, right?
Dude, I just know that the O2 arena would be like incredible. Like MSG was incredible, and I'm kind of like now that I experienced that, like I'm kind of like in that I guess almost like adrenaline junkie, like wanting more. So
Yeah,
I think the only thing bigger than MSG is the O2 arena.
I think so, man. The O2 Arena is insane. The UFC Perth is probably going to be the next run up for that.
I wonder how big that is.
Yeah. UFC Perth,
Yeah.
I think it's a stadium, so it's probably going to be like freaking a ton of
Oh
people in there.
shit. Yeah, that would
Yeah.
be awesome.
How would you ever feel about fighting in Brazil? Just because we're on the subject of like the international fight right now.
So like my coach Daniel Gracie, obviously he's from Brazil.
Yeah.
He's like, don't do it. Like it's crazy. But I'm like, dude, I don't know. That sounds awesome. He's like, they're gonna be chanting like, kill him, kill him. Like, I don't give a shit. Like, what do I care? But
And you got some Brazilians with you too, who have your back.
I think he just doesn't want to corner a American guy in Brazil.
Yeah, it's probably hard enough for him, to, right? In this last fight, the guy you fought was Brazilian.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But
Yeah.
no, like, Daniel's like friends with all those guys. Honestly, I didn't have a problem with them either. Like, um, when I fought in Abu Dhabi, Glover was on that card, so I kind of spent some time with their coaches when we were out there at the hotel, and then yeah, so then the only one that wasn't out in Abu Dhabi was that Plino Cruz, which was Pereira's striking coach.
Yeah. Does he have the blonde hair? The big dude with blonde hair?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And Daniel had trained him before. He actually fought one of my old coaches, Joe Stripling, for the CFFC title. And yeah, I remember Plino from when he was fighting.
Okay. He wasn't, was he in your corner though, or no?
No.
Oh, because I
For
saw
what?
for the your last fight, I saw the there's like a blonde guy who's like massive. He looks like he was in Pereira's camp. And
No,
then I saw
he was in Wellington's corner.
oh, because I saw like your coach posted a video and then he was recording
Yeah,
you,
yeah,
but the guy was right
okay.
next to him.
Yeah, no, I saw that too. I saw
Yeah.
that. That was
So
awkward.
I know, right? I was like, dude, look, luckily Wellington didn't look into the camera. That would have been like way more
Yeah.
awkward.
No,
But
I know exactly what you're talking about. I saw that video.
yeah, so that's why I was a little confused. I'm like, oh, he's got a full on Brazilian corner.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
I got the Puerto Rican corner.
Gotcha. So you're telling me like, or not telling me, but you mentioned if people want to get some real martial arts skills, right? Come through to Daniel Gracie's in Philly. Um,
Absolutely.
yeah, so I got a couple questions about it. Like if I wanted to come down there, am I gonna be is the general area kind of safe or do I need to be like have one of you guys kind of be around me? What's it like over there?
I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
It's definitely not safe. I would literally drive to the gym with your doors locked,
Mm-hmm.
park outside the gym, you'll be fine. Go into the gym. When you're done training, get back in the car and leave.
Okay.
Don't stop for anyone.
What is it? Is it because it's like a in the middle of the city or something like that? Like you know how LA is kind of like that because
Yeah,
it's the big city.
it's the Badlands. It's Kensington. It's like the fucking open drug market. You know what I mean? It's terrible.
Okay.
I mean,
Um.
we're kind of a little bit further outside, like Kensington Ave, but
Mhm.
like K&A is Kensington and Allegheny Ave. That's where like it's basically like an open drug market, but we're a little bit more north and closer to the highway, so it's not as bad, and we do get like a lot of that riffraff coming up, but
Mhm.
like you don't have to drive through K&A to get to our gym, so you would be okay.
Okay. Gotcha. And
If you go to Daniel's gym, so Daniel is where all the jujitsu is.
mhm.
If you go to Daniel's gym and then you drive from Daniel's gym to John's gym, which is Marquez MMA, where we do all the MMA and striking,
Mhm.
then you drive through KNA, which is like the bad place.
And like, what's it like? Do you would you drive through there? Or do you kind of avoid it? Because I wouldn't like to drive
I
through LA personally.
I used to like enjoy it because it would make me like grateful for like where I'm at, and like
Mhm.
I was just like, you know what I mean, like, but a couple like my coach, they tried to take my coach's car. Like um my coach Eddie, they jumped out in front of the car. They sent this kid, he jumped out in front of his Jeep. And when my coach hit him, he got out to see if he was okay. And when he got out, they tried to take his car, like
No.
three other guys. So luckily he was able to handle that situation. But now I don't like doing. No, I don't want to go. I don't want to get my car taken.
Yeah. I mean, I just want to ask because it's on the top of my mind. You don't have to answer if you don't want to, but you guys have to carry like a gun with you in that kind of area? Like I know they do that in like LA to some degree.
So like for me, it's tough because I live in Jersey
Mm-hmm.
and we come over the bridge into Philly.
Oh, I see. So there's like
So,
jurisdictions.
so the laws are funny, but um we're we are well protected.
Yeah. I mean, I think you gotta be. That's kind of how it goes.
Yeah.
So let's talk about 2023 then, as we kind of wind down the interview. You have any goals on the top of your mind for 2023?
I just want to really stay busy, man. I want a new contract. I think that I've done a lot. I think I've done enough to deserve it. 4-0, two on short notice, three finishes. I think I really do deserve a new contract. Um, but then again, like I am on the 6 fight Ultimate Fighter contract, so like if I didn't get in, like they don't have to give me a new contract, but I think I've done enough to deserve it. Definitely. That's like my first priority, but I want to stay busy, man, and I want to travel. Like I want to continue to fight. I want to fight up. You know what I mean? Wellington was a fight down. I think he was like 36 and I was like 32. So I
Mm-hmm.
want to fight up. I mean, even Malkoon's 30 or 31. Like I'm fine with that. Meerschaerdt's like top 20. Like I love that fight. And there's a lot of other guys um, in the top 25 that like I love those matchups. Like I'm ready, especially if they give me a new contract. I'm ready to fight the guys in the top 20
Okay, hell yeah. So you're looking to kind of get that step up in competition, but like what a lot of fighters talk about, you want to have compensation for it as well.
for sure, for
Yeah.
sure.
Are you considering like you say you're on the 6 fight contract, but are you just going to reach out to the UFC through your manager maybe and just maybe see if they're open to another negotiation? If not, you'll just fight it out, but doesn't hurt to ask.
Right.
Okay, cool. So you also just mentioned though that you have a big appetite for like life. And where did you get that from? Do you want to show your daughter around the world? Have you always kind of like wanted to travel, or did fighting and the Ultimate Fighter and stuff make you like
Well,
traveling?
before I was fighting, I was always traveling for wrestling. So
Oh yeah.
I wrestled all through high school. We always traveled. Um, not to the best. Honestly, fighting has taken me better places than wrestling. Well,
Mm-hmm.
in college, but like wrestling's not really like there's not really much wrestling in Vegas and California. Like, well, there is, but we stayed mostly on the East Coast for wrestling.
Yeah.
Um, but I just always enjoyed traveling, being on the road, like meeting new people, seeing new things. So, like I love all that shit. I want to experience as much shit as possible.
Gotcha. And I guess coming from like the East Coast area, sometimes like you were saying you weren't traveling to the greatest places in college. So, there's some other cool places out there you want to check out.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, wrestling's like I felt like always in like cold weather areas like Iowa or like Penn State or like Michigan, like cold places where
Hmm.
I like warm. You know what I mean? Like I want to go to Miami and like California. Like I want to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want nice weather also.
They do say that, I mean, I'm not good with the regions necessarily, like geography, but I think you're kind of from the Midwest area a little bit, no? Or what? Because they say the people
Yeah,
from
we're
the Midwest are like the toughest, and that's Iowa and like all those top universities that are always doing great in wrestling.
for college. Well, nah, nah. East Coast. We're the Northeast,
Oh, you're
and
the
we have the best
Northeast.
wrestling.
Okay.
Yeah, for high school, even for high school, it's New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Ohio. Those are like the best states. Even like New York has a lot of tough guys, but yeah, those four states are usually have the most guys that win Fargo and the World Championships for high school, and then in college, Penn State has been on top for so long.
Yeah.
or at
What do
least
you
the
think it
last like
is?
6 and 7 years. Well, Kale, obviously, I got to give credit where credit's due. Kale changed that program around completely. But I mean, Pennsylvania's always been a hotbed for great wrestlers. So to be able to recruit in Pennsylvania and have those wrestlers be able to stay close to home is huge. You know, their
Yeah.
parents want to come watch them wrestle. They don't want to have to travel to Iowa every weekend to watch their kid wrestle.
So they have a lot of homegrown prospects pretty much.
Absolutely.
Okay, gotcha. And do they ever go to like the younger kids? Do like Penn State hold camps and stuff like that for them to go to and
Yeah.
kind of bring them up?
Yeah. Yep. So they have every college has summer camps.
Okay, gotcha. Last one. What is your what's like the best kind of workouts for an MMA fighter? Do you like to focus on calisthenics and stuff? Like power lifts? Because you're a shredded dude yourself. So I'm just curious about your input on that.
My lifting has definitely changed, um, especially like really since like the beginning of COVID. In the beginning of COVID, like my gym at the time was closed down. I was just doing like a lot of like weightlifting, almost like bodybuilding workouts, you know,
Yeah.
and I kind of had to get away from that. So like I do more like endurance type things now. But if I'm gonna lift, like I'll do a lot of like pull ups. Pull ups have always been like a very important part. It's, like uses all your muscles.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Pull ups. I'll still bench and stuff, but squats are always been important. But I won't go as heavy as I used to. Like instead of doing, you know, sets of 2 or 3, I'll do sets of 5 to 10.
Okay. And I guess why is that you don't want to do like the bodybuilding stuff? Do you feel it affecting your endurance, your mobility?
Yeah, yeah, it definitely affects your endurance and just like I've hurt my back many times from like deadlifting heavy weights.
Oh yeah.
It's just not worth it. Like if I hurt my back deadlifting 415, like I'm out for the next, who knows, maybe 1 week, maybe 2 weeks. Whereas I can like get just as much of an effect doing 225 for 20 for 10. You know what I mean? I don't have to, and then I don't risk hurting my back as much.
Yeah. No, I feel you on that one. I feel like we've all been there. Fucking trying to lift too much, put yourself out for like a
Yeah.
week. And it's like,
Yeah. I mean, and it's nice to be able to say, yeah, I just lifted 415, but it's just not worth it to me anymore. You know what I mean? It's like, this isn't just a hobby. Like, this is how I pay my bills.
right. All right, man. Well, I appreciate the time and everything. Just to recap what we talked about, you're looking to possibly sign a new contract, and then get some big fights once you sign a new deal for sure. And then you're just looking to get some big fights this year, looking to travel and enjoy those finer things in life, right?
Yes, sir.
Hell yeah, man. All right, Andre. Well, it's a pleasure always watching all your fights. Fucking easy being a fan of yours because you're always winning. But have a good one, man. And best of luck in training and best of luck getting that Gerald Meerschaerdt fight or Bo Nickal if he's down for it.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it.